All right, this next video is your front foot elevated split squat, targeting a little bit of balance, unilateral strength, glute, quad strength. If you're not going all the way down to the ground with that back knee on your regular split squat, you don't need to worry about elevating it yet, but all the technique cues and tips would be the same, just minus the elevation. What I'll use in the video to elevate is a yoga block. You can also use the thinner ones. That's a good option for progressing up and adding that extra depth. The extra depth does target the glutes a little bit more, so that's why we like to add that in. If you're at the gym, you can use weight plates, and obviously those come in varying thicknesses, so a nice option to progress. At home, other things you could use would be the bottom stair on your staircase. That would be a pretty high level of deficit for that front foot elevated, and so you'd have a lot greater range of motion with that, so you can kind of play with what's the just right height. So we place whatever we're using to elevate, we have that at the front. You want to make sure it accommodates your whole foot, because that would be one of the common mistakes is we're just driving through our toes. We want the whole foot to be involved in that action. So we place that, our whole foot is on that. The other common mistake is sometimes we're too far back, and that's more of a lunge. This is a split squat, so we have that back foot a little bit closer and we're up on the toes. We don't want to lean forward too much. We want to keep our torso relatively over the bowl of the pelvis. Having said that, a little bit of lean can help target into the glutes a little bit more. So the action is we're coming down, and we do want to tap that back knee and then driving up. The driving up is primarily this front foot. When we drive with the back foot, it tends to look like this, and it might throw us off balance. So we want to have the drive through that front foot. If you're loading it to progressively overload, you can have weights in both hands, and that's a nice beginning option to have a little bit more balanced effort. So from here, when I do have weights, I might let those weights come forward beside that front foot as I lower down. So that would look a little bit like that. Notice I'm not fully leaning. The other option is to take a heavier load in a single arm so that you can target the glutes a little bit with that contralateral kind of setup. So opposite side, and then we balance. This will require a lot more stability, and we come down and rise up. So that is your front foot elevated split squat. And while this exercise does strengthen your glutes, your quads, it builds your ability to produce and absorb force on one leg at a time. And we do that all the time throughout our day. Walking, climbing, stairs, hiking, uneven terrain. Even catching yourself from a stumble is that single-sided strength, that unilateral strength and stability. And often this exercise can reveal some side-to-side imbalances, differences that the traditional squat kind of can hide a little bit. So this gives us an opportunity to build a little bit more balance between the sides, and ultimately that's a more resilient system.